So I started out as a PhD student working basically with molecular biology, and I learned a lot about science, but I also learned the limitations of what we were doing at the time. So I wanted to work with a model organism, so I chose Drosophila, the fruit fly, because at the time we were just working with cell culture. And 75% of human disease genes do the same job in a fly as they do in a human. And so in the screen that we did in Drosophila, we found a whole number of genes that control organ size, so how big organs get. And we understood how they worked in the fly, but then we also found the human equivalents and sequenced them individually in human cancer cell lines. So in our bodies and in most animals on the planet, we have information relays called signaling pathways. And these are groups of proteins that work together to send messages from the top of the cell into the nucleus to change the behavior of the cell. So whether it migrates, whether it divides to make two cells, or whether it dies, and other things as well. And the Hippo pathway is one of those 20 or so signaling pathways. A colleague of mine actually named it because he thought that the mutant overgrowth phenotype of the Hippo gene looked a little bit like the overgrowth and wrinkles of a hippopotamus. Right down at the base of the pathway, there are two proteins that work together to drive transcription downstream of the Hippo pathway. And so almost all of the Hippo pathway drugs that have been developed to date disrupt that interaction and block the genes that promote proliferation and growth and cell survival. So mesothelioma is a relatively rare cancer that's caused by asbestos. And more than 50% of cases of mesothelioma have a Hippo pathway mutation. So it's really a Hippo-driven disease. And that's why when groups around the world eventually developed Hippo-targeted therapies, they have all chosen to trial them in mesothelioma and some other select cancers that also have Hippo pathway mutations. The Hippo pathway is a very competitive field. There are key labs all over the world, US, Europe, etc. I can't think of one of my competitors that is in a unique situation like I am, where we have clinical trials and Drosophila research happening in the same building. And I'm very fortunate to have close clinical colleagues that have helped me to bring TEAD inhibitor Hippo pathway targeted therapy trials here to Peterborough.